be seated. Good evening, Summerville faculty, staff, family, alumni, and most important of all, the class of 2022. Today we are gathering for the final time as Summerville High School students. After today, the doors open for the rest of our lives. Before we walk across the stage today, let us take a moment to reflect on who we have become, the friends we have made, what we have learned, and the memories that we have made along the way. I know that each and every one of you will go on to achieve amazing things, so let's go out there and do it. Now, will you join me for a moment of meditation? Please stand for the national anthem.
It is my distinct honor to introduce to you the salutatorian of the class of 2022, the wonderful Ashley Larissa Burgess. Since she is our salutatorian, it is obvious that she has magnificent grades in the most challenging of classes and an admirable grade point average. Therefore, I will not belabor you with the details of her academic excellence except to comment on its breadth. For she is one of those rare individuals who can capably and enthusiastically debate the role of women in the medieval Byzantine Empire, or the finer points of a chemical titration, or the qualities of a Shakespearean sonnet, or the unique biology of Amazonian soils, or what to expect from international air travel, or the proper interpretation of New Testament scriptures. Instead, I want to introduce you not to Ashley the student, but to Ashley the young lady, and to explain to you why her words are worthy of your attention. Ashley is, like the dependable employee bosses dream about, the ambitious manager upon whom the CEO depends, and the engaging teacher all the kids hope to have next year, but all rolled into one. Many of you here today are looking forward to a fun summer of relaxation. Ashley spent last summer using her idiomatic fluency in English and Portuguese to teach Brazilian middle school students about American English and the nuances of life in the United States, including our country's history, politics, and culture, as the official guest lecturer at the Escola Municipal de Campo Verde in Mato Grosso in Brazil. That's the kind of thing we would normally expect college graduates to do, but Ashley's always been precocious. She's an accomplished pianist, a skilled archer, and an award-winning poet and author. When she worked as the receptionist at a local orthodontic clinic, customers routinely overestimated her age due to her professional demeanor. She even has beautiful cursive handwriting and is a committed Christian. I have no idea what she's about to tell you, but this I know. Ashley is a young lady whose intellect, demeanor, experience, and accomplishments combine to make her words worthy of your attention. A famous TV commercial for a financial investment company once claimed, "When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. When Ashley Larissa Burgess speaks, I listen."
Thank you, Mr. Farrell, for that lovely and touching introduction. Class of 2022, welcome and congratulations. The last 4 years of high school were particularly unique. We, as a graduating class, were blessed with an abundance of current events to use in our English essays and history discussions. And we were challenged to adapt to problems from a global to a personal level. The trials we endured forged in us a strength we will continue to use to overcome future obstacles. We have already experienced so much growth over the last 4 years, and every moment of that struggle should be celebrated, because each obstacle that we overcame taught us a lesson. Zoom taught us patience. Kahoot taught us to lose with grace. And high school taught us how to be better. The real world will bring with it a slew of new responsibilities and challenges that we have not yet faced or even really imagined. But just as we grew over the last 4 years, we will continue to grow for the rest of our lives. We can now use those same principles of discipline and hard work and apply them to the larger challenges that loom ahead. Sometimes these bigger challenges may seem insurmountable, but we only need the courage to face them and the confidence to solve them, and we will find that we can be successful. My prayer is that we continue to get better. We have been granted an awesome opportunity to make a difference in this world, and it's our responsibility to realize our potential to its fullest. This potential, it's visible to the people who love us most, especially our parents. Parents, families, thank you for pouring into the lives of your child and their peers. Your influence has been the single greatest factor that has led us all to success. Thank you for your support and your love. Teachers, your passion and your dedication for your students drive and encourage us more than you can ever imagine. I, on behalf of the class of 2022, thank you. Friends, we have taken the first steps here. Walking across this stage is a privilege denied to many and accomplished by few. I believe that God has a plan for each of us, and I'm so excited to see the impact that we will have on this world as we discover and find our place. However, for today, let's focus on our current accomplishments and celebrate. Congratulations, class of 2022. We made it.
Good evening. Welcome to the 2022 commencement exercises for Summerville High School. It is truly an honor to be a part of this celebration. This celebration would not be possible without the individuals sitting on this stage. I'd like to recognize our district leadership. First off, Mr. Joe Pye. We're going to talk a little bit about him in a little bit, but this is also his 23rd year as superintendent, and he is retiring to a beautiful, beautiful river house. Congratulations, Mr. Pye. Karen Radcliffe, Executive Director of Secondary Schools. Dr. Greg Harrison, Executive Director of Special Programs. Dr. Wanda Gadsden, Executive Director of Special Services. Gaylor Mercer Brown, Coordinator of Counseling Services. At this time, I'd like to recognize our Board of Trustees. Ms. Gail Hughes, Board Chair. Mrs. Tanya Robinson, Vice Chair. Mrs. Ashley Wimberly, Secretary. Mrs. Barbara Crosby. Mr. Justin Farnsworth. Mr. Evan Guthrie. And Mr. Brian Mitchum. I would be remiss if I did not recognize a group of individuals who give of themselves selflessly every day at Summerville High School. I'd like to take a moment to personally thank our outstanding faculty and staff for all that they do each and every day. Can we give them a round of applause? It is with great honor as the son of a retired Naval Master Chief that I ask that our students who have enlisted in the military to stand and remain standing. At this time, I would also invite any guests who are currently serving or has currently served in the military to please stand and stay standing while Mr. Gilreath and a few of our senior marching band members play America the Beautiful. Thank you again for the service to our country. Members of class of 2022, it is graduation day. As I pondered on what significant remarks I should make to you on this special day, I was overwhelmed by the feeling of optimism. I was overcome with optimism because I have no doubt the class of 2022 will do great things. You are intelligent, compassionate, hardworking, and most of all, you are outstanding young men and women. Today, I'd like to work one more equation. I must warn you, it's been since the 1900s since I took a math class. Today's equation is about striving to keep balance in life. We have been taught many times, from the simplest to most complex equations, that both sides must be equal. So should life. On one side of the equation, I challenge you to go forward and make a difference in this new and ever-changing world. No doubt, there will be hurdles and roadblocks. You will reach many points in your life where you must make a decision between what is right and what is easy. Your abilities are void if you cannot use your skills and talents to make the right decision. Alex Smith, NFL quarterback, once said, "Embrace the new. No matter how uncomfortable, make it work for you." I am confident the class of 2022 are a group of young men and women who will make the correct decisions to better this world. On the other side of life's equation, make sure you take time to simply enjoy life. In life, we only get one show, one game, or one journey. We can't get fixated on reaching life's benchmarks and simply forget to enjoy the ride. Furthermore, remember not to get caught up looking at everybody else's story. Write your own. As you sit and wait to turn your tassel today, realize you have reached a monumental benchmark in your life. Still, we are ending one journey, but embarking on the next. Do what it takes to make this life the life you're dreaming of today. Have a sense of urgency to live your most authentic life and become the absolute best person you can be. And remember, always, no matter how far you travel away from this place, Summerville High School will always be your home. We wish you happiness, success, and self-discipline to make your life something that you will be proud of, and hope you know that you will always have and be the support of the Green Wave family. On a personal note, I want to thank the class of 2022 for allowing me to share your high school experience. You have done amazing work in continuing the rich legacy of excellence that has come before you. You are and always will be the mighty Green Wave. I am honored to have been your principal. Congratulations to all of you. I could not be more proud today. Thank you, class of 2022. God bless.
Good evening. My name is Mayumi Lenke, and I'm the French teacher at Summerville High School. I get the incredible yet humbling opportunity tonight to introduce to you your valedictorian. I never actually taught this young man in the classroom, but I've known him for a few years. If you know, you know. What most people recognize about him on the surface is that he is an amazingly smart individual and extremely talented pianist. However, I can tell you stories about him that a lot of people don't know. He's been through a lot. Like when he was 4 years old, if it hadn't been for amazing friends and family members, he and his mother would have been homeless. Or when he was in kindergarten, he had a field trip he wanted to go on and literally paid for it on his own with coins from his piggy bank. Then there was a time when he was in second grade. He taped a piece of paper on his bedroom wall that read, and I quote, "My mission statement is to work hard in school so that I can get a scholarship. I want to get a really good job to make my parents proud and not let them down." I'd say his hard work thus far has paid off. He's never been the type to brag, so I'll do that for him. A few weeks ago, he graduated with an associate's degree in science from Trident Technical College. Tonight, he's graduating from high school with a 5.45 GPA to be at the top of his class. And this fall, he'll be attending an Ivy League school, Cornell University, to major in mathematics and has to pay very little out of pocket. Proud is an understatement. Those are just a touch about his academics, but I also want to brag about his character. Junior year was crazy with the pandemic. While we were virtual, he and his cousin alternated days watching his 2-year-old brother and assisting his first-grade brother, who was also virtual, so his parents could work. He did this while juggling 12 classes, 3 of which were AP courses and 7 college courses. Pretty remarkable. For senior year, he set up his schedule so he would only have online classes. Also, his little brothers, one of whom was just born last June, wouldn't have to go to daycare. He stayed home and tended to them all day. I've seen his interactions with his siblings, and even with the age gaps, those little guys adore their big brother. He has been a great example to them, and I don't think he'll ever realize how much his family loves him and appreciates him and all he's done. So families, friends, faculty, staff, and students sitting before me, It is my pleasure and tremendous honor to introduce your class of 2022 valedictorian, the young man who, 18 years ago, first made me a mom, my son, Gavin Nicholas Dutter.
Okay, thank you. Around this time last year, I was a junior marshal at the 2021 graduation ceremony. I remember watching last year's valedictorian, Sadie Snell, give her speech, and I thought, wow, I can't imagine how nerve-wracking it must be to speak in front of that many people. Now I can. And well, I can assure you it's no easy task. Everyone here in front of me, our graduating class of 2022, knows even better than I how to overcome hardships like this, especially after these past few years. As you all know, about halfway through the second semester of our sophomore year, COVID-19 started to run rampant, leading to the hurried closing of schools and transfer to online education throughout the country. As time progressed, these restrictions became more lenient, and after what felt like years, our district finally returned to face-to-face classes in the second semester of our junior year. I think that I can speak for almost everyone here when I say that these past years have been extraordinarily demanding as we trudged through this pandemic that seems to finally be coming to a close. Yet even in the face of all this adversity, we are still here and having the first normal graduation ceremony since the pandemic began, no less. As I look around and take in this ocean of green in front of me, I can't help but feel my heart swell with immense pride. I, the wonderful staff at Summerville, and the thousands of friends and family here today are so proud of your hard work and dedication. Now, after 4 long years of early morning alarms, copious amounts of homework, and late night studying for exams, we can finally say that we've graduated high school. Of course, I would also like to recognize the efforts of the amazing people that guided us here, our teachers. Throughout these past 4 years, we've all had many different experiences with many different teachers. Maybe some of these moments were better than others, but one thing is undeniable. The staff here has dedicated themselves to our growth not only as students, but as people, and without them, none of us would be here today. I know that I owe a lot to my calculus teacher, Mr. Chad Earwood. Though last year, our junior year, was his final year of teaching, he taught me and many others so much not only about math, but about applying my love of learning to develop other aspects of my life. And he is the principal reason that I've chosen to major in mathematics in college. So, representing the entire student body here today, I would personally like to thank every single teacher and administrator for the sacrifices that you make every single day for us. We know that teaching throughout the pandemic in the last few years was just as difficult for you, if not more difficult than it was for us. So for that, we owe you our gratitude. Naturally, after we all walk across this stage and receive our diplomas, the days will continue. As this chapter of our lives comes to an end, a new one will begin. Some of us have chosen to pursue higher education, others join the workforce, and there are even those who have chosen to dedicate their lives to our country and enlist in the military. But regardless of the paths we have chosen for the next chapter of our lives, let us face them with confidence and excitement. Just as we survived the pandemic, we can thrive in the face of any hardships life may throw at us. It would be an understatement to say that life isn't easy, and I can say with certainty that we will all be confronted with trials and tribulations. But know this, my peers, we are strong, we are tenacious, we are resourceful, and we are the graduating class of 2022. Congratulations. And now, please welcome my classmate, James Rooker, who has a special message.
Good evening, everyone, and congratulations to the Summerville class of 2022. Today is a special day for us to recognize all the hard work and dedication that each of us has demonstrated over the past 12 years. But it is also time for us to reflect on others who have helped us reach this milestone and to show our appreciation for their undying commitment to us and the world of education. I'm here tonight to recognize a remarkable individual, an individual who has dedicated his life to fighting for students like you and me. This person is someone who has always done what is best for the students, faculty members, and the families of Dorchester District 2. When he headed off to college, this individual had interest in business, but I believe that a compelling force changed his mind and drove him toward education. This force was so compelling, in fact, that he has stayed an educator for 52 years, of which 49 of those years have been spent here in DD2. As a teacher, this individual made an impact on the students he taught and strived to help them succeed in the classroom. His colleagues and friends say that he looked for creative solutions to problems and used unconventional methods to encourage students to become critical thinkers. At one time in his career, although some may be skeptical, he even took his class onto the roof of the school. Why would he do this? The answer is simple. In the words of Albert Einstein, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them, which is why they headed up to the roof. He exposed his students to creative problem solving. When this individual became an educator 52 years ago, he could not have foreseen the changes education would undergo in the next half a century. Educators were thrust into the technology revolution and had to keep up in order to prepare students for the future. The curriculum expanded beyond reading, writing, and arithmetic. The population grew and new schools were built. Then the COVID pandemic came, and now big decisions had to be made: to mask or to not to mask, to attend school face-to-face or virtually. Weighing the risk and hearing the opinions of, well, everyone, school leaders have been facing new and more challenging problems every year for decades. These changes require creative problem solving, unconventional strategies, and critical thinking. It is fortunate for DD2 that we had someone with all these qualities at our helm. I am honored tonight to introduce our DD2 Superintendent, Mr. Joseph R. Pye. Thank you, Mr. Pye, for your dedication, imagination, creative problem solving, and compassion that you have shown this community over the past 23 years as our superintendent. We thank you for your constant support of our athletic programs, and we plan to induct you in the Summerville High School Athletic Hall of Fame. We thank you for your leadership through the pandemic, through the growing pains of DD2, and through the threats made to our school campuses. So many of us have lost loved ones and classmates to the pandemic, accidents, or even violence in our community, and we continue to honor them. But Mr. Pye, you have stood firm, doing what is in the best interest of students, families, and employees, even when every day brought new challenges. To quote Albert Einstein once again, he said, "Do not try to become a person of success, but try to become a person of value." And you, Mr. Pye, have certainly become this to us. We want to congratulate you on your retirement and let you know that we are grateful for your time, creativity, your compassion, and the sacrifices you have made for this community. You will be missed by many, but you will be forgotten by none. We would like to show our appreciation by giving you and Mrs. Pye this special rocking chair and your very own Leatherman jacket. Congratulations on your retirement, Mr. Pye.
Did you see the back of it? Natural. Now, how nice would that be to wear to a state championship ball game? So that's the challenge. My challenge is to find something to do in retirement. The administration at Summerville High and the coaches are going to have to bring home some state championships so I can come back for all those events and enjoy those as they make them very special. But that's hard to follow this act, but I'm going to do the best I can. Bear with me. Good evening, Summerville graduates. It is an honor to be here as your superintendent and recognize and celebrate you, the 2022 graduating class of Summerville. As I prepared this message, I couldn't help but consider my own graduation and celebration that goes along with it. Some of you might receive gifts to go along with the celebration, just like I did with the rocking chair. But as I reflect on those gifts now, I realize the best gift of any of us can receive is the gift of time. So I'd like to talk about that gift, the gift of time, the past, the present, and the future. I want to start with the present. Today we are here to celebrate you, you have reached a very important milestone in your short time on this earth, your high school graduation. Until now, nearly 3/4 of your life has been spent in school. Some of you began your K-12 education journey right here in Dorchester District 2. Others moved here somewhere along their journey, but regardless of how long you've been here, we have formed tremendous relationships that will last us a lifetime. And is that not a wonderful gift? Now that you have reached this special occasion, let's all take a moment to pause, soak it all in, and audience, let's give our graduates a round of applause. I can't hear. Can you hear this now? That's a knockout. All right. We can't talk about the present without reflecting on the past. Most of you have encountered some type of challenge along the way to get here today. During those challenging times, you've learned, grown, and become stronger individuals. And that is a gift from that period of time. You've had the support of your families and friends along the way. Graduates, I hope you also recognize that dozens of your teachers, administrators, coaches, and counselors have all helped you on this journey. As you look around, please notice these very important people who are here to celebrate this occasion with you. They have poured out much of their time, their energy, and talents for you, at home, in the classrooms, at extracurricular events, and beyond, playing a very important role in shaping who you are now and what you will do in the future. They invested time in you, and that is a priceless gift. Graduates, let's take time and thank those who are here to celebrate you, so give them a shout out. Graduates. And now we look to the future time, to what's next in our journey. Some of you may be a bit like me. You have no idea what you'll be doing in August when the school year for next groups of students begins. But many of you already know and have made plans to join the military, continue your education, or maybe even start your career. No matter what is next for each of us, remember we all have the gift of time ahead of us. As you continue your journey in your next chapter, I want to encourage you to find your passion, do what you love, and you will be richly rewarded. Be flexible. Sometimes things don't go as planned on the journey. There are twists and turns, but if you stay the course, take time to stop and smell the roses and use that time to reflect, you'll find your way. Take initiative. Don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Look for ways to make them happen for yourself and others. Remain open to new possibilities. Sometimes those opportunities open doors we never dreamed of knocking on. Strive for excellence. Do your best in all things. Help others along the way. And stay in touch with your family and friends. And most of all, make some new friends. Use the gift of time for what is important. Take time for yourself, your family, your friends, because you cannot make time. Each of us is given 86,400 seconds each day. Make them count. W.B. Du Bois said, now is the accepted time, not tomorrow, not some more convenient season. It is today that our best work can be done and not some future day or future year. It is today that we fit ourselves for the greater usefulness of tomorrow. Today is seed time. Now are the hours of work, and tomorrow comes the harvest and the playtime. May you enjoy the gift of time, this moment, right now. That's why it's called the present. But be thankful for the past, and you may be blessed with a rich and bountiful harvest in the future for all the years to come. Dr. Seuss said, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it actually happened. On graduation day, we smile because you made it happen. The time has come to celebrate and open the gift of time that lies ahead. Congratulations, graduates.
The faculty and seniors respectfully request your cooperation as we celebrate the graduation of the class of 2022 in a dignified and respectful manner. All names are important to family and friends. Please help us ensure that all names are heard by holding your applause and celebration until all seniors are recognized. Please do not leave your seats to take pictures or videos. A photographer will take each graduate's picture as they cross the stage. Also, remain in place until the graduates recess from the Coliseum floor at the end of the ceremony. At this time, please check to ensure that your cell phone is off or silenced. I ask that you refrain from using air horns or noisemakers of any kind that might detract from this ceremony. Thank you in advance for your cooperation. I present the 2022 Summerville High School valedictorian, Gavin Nicholas Dutterer. Presenting the 2022 Summerville High School salutatorian, Ashley Larissa Burgess. And now, presenting the Distinguished Honor Graduates, Hayden Charles Albo, Dylan Cole Alford, Laura May Allison, Sylvia Alexandra Ayala Macias, Patrick Alexander Bailey, Eliza Marie Blackwell, Lydia Caroline Elizabeth Bowen, Rebecca Lynn Bowser, Hannah Corinne Breedemeyer, Sandra Peyton Brennan, Catherine Diane Broadbeck, Janiyah Vonique Brown, Jordan T. Brown, Ryu Alpha Brown, Tiara Nicole Brown, Jasmine Colleen Bryant, Mallory Morgan Buckner, Mary Carolina Busco, Lily Caroline Butterworth, Nicholas Wesley Cadell, Alana Michelle Campbell, Caitlin Dawn Campbell, Elias Leannon Carls, Wesley Lynn Castle, Santiago Chavez Morales, Lillian Faith Christensen, Madeline Mackenzie Clifton, Olivia Jaden Clifton, Charlton Paul Cochran, Taylor McCrae Connell, Dorothy Gracie Ann Cooper, Isabel Grace Corson, Cassidy Noel Cripps Pritchard, Cayenne Elizabeth Dobbles, Jada K. Dangerfield, Carolyn Simone Renee Dantzler, Caleb Ethan Davis, Haley Cecile Davis, Malia Amor Bonita Ezel, Jamisha Dene Farrakhan, Jalen Reginald Fernandez. Jack Lane Farrell IV. Adrian Cornelius Floyd II. Declan Train Fluent. Emily Ann Folk. Rahi Dagesh Gajar. Kayla Nicole Galong. Christian Nelson Garcia. Samuel I. Gardner. Kimberly Faye Gessner. Rachel Laura Gilpin. Thomas Dylan Goddard. JJ Gonzalez. John Allen Graham III. Jasmine Samir Grant. Sydney Ann Greer. Abigail Noel Grooms. James Derek Hafner. Kendall Jane Elizabeth Hardy. Nicholas Allen Harshman. Alexander James Hearn. Lindsay Kayleen Helms. Caitlin Grace Hustedy. Mitchell Thomas Jackson. Patrick Benjamin Johnson. Kiana Shalon Vernier Jones. Victoria Hope Jones. Michaela Renee Kennedy. Taya Markella May Kennett. Brayton Cade Killery. Abigail Elizabeth Kirkwood. Madeline Dorothy Knapp. Savannah Elizabeth Coster. Alyssa Joe Kornasevich. Matthew Ryan Lauer. Molly Caroline Lindenberg. Jonah Edward Longo. James Ellis Librand. Logan Michael Macavina. Anthony Joseph Martino Jr. Eric Robert Mays. Noah Jacob McCarthy. Carter Stephen McCoy. Mitchell William McFarland. Kagan O'Neill McNamara. Samson Michael Malott. Emily Julia Mitchum. Madison Haley Mitchum. Anna Hallie Morris. Kaylee Rose Nava. Tanner Jackson Nemeth. Jemiah Rihanna Emerachukwu Megbu. Alexander Matthew Norwood. Mary Elizabeth O'Brien. Nathaniel James O'Connell. Gracie Jane Olson. Victoria Paige Oots. Evan Allen Overeem. Spicer Blake Pagan. Gabriel Joshua Perry. Robert Martin Peters III. Ava Jane Phillips. Paige Ann Reddick. Lily Ping Reese. Erin Grace Reed. Meredith Rose Reed. Zachary Howard Rarig. Caroline Olivia Rogers. James Michael Rooker. Elena Renee Rose. Addison Elizabeth Ross. Bethany Oliver Roy. Antonio Luis Sanchez. Samson Alon Schopfer. Grace Nicole Scruggs. Carson Riley Shaw. Catherine Elizabeth Sherman. Leah Mackenzie Shuey. Anaya Brianna Simmons. Philip Grayson Simmons. Ian David Sinkoff. Tyler Ordonez Scarpole. Taylor Grace Smerkel. Elliot Lee Suter. Abigail Doris Taylor. Micah Denzel Tolliver. Emma Catherine Tracy. Matthew Allen Traylor. Olivia Noel Trevelyan. Kyron Taylor Victa. Natalie Elizabeth Walker. Thomas Michael Wallington. Jalen Grace Walrath. Caitlin Alexis Webb. McKenna Reese Wexler. Ryan Charles Whipple. Robert Isaac Lynn Williams. Sarah Lynn Wimpy. Caitlin Marie Zanowski. And Lorelei Morgan Zotner. Please give a round of applause for our distinguished honor graduates. And now, presenting the honor graduates, Shania Macy Allen. Bryson Patrick Anglin. Jenna Siawa Asamoah. Annabelle Lee Baldovin. Damian Robert Bartle. Liam Joseph Bates. Colby Scott Bowermaster. Xander Thomas Joel Bowman. J.D. Ann Burbage. Gavin William Butler. Emily Catherine Button. Ayla Jane Camp. Ramaya Deja Carter. Emma Rose Cesari. Nathaniel Connor Christensen. Kirsten Brooke Clayton. Savannah Lynn Coburn. Caleb Braden Cummings. Elijah James Danjoint. Ryan Patrick DeGroot. Ty Matthew DeReamer. Nathaniel Diego Sidonio de Souza. Brianna Lynn DeStephanis. Deja Monique DeVoe. Carlos Joseph Frank Jr. Marissa Lynn Gaskins. William Richard Nagy. Kira Noel Hagerman. Ainsley Francis Hall. Michaela Rose Hanrahan. Austin Reed Hauk. Ty Gilbert Hedges. Preston Gerard Hernandez. Michael Gabriel Hicks. Elijah Nazik Horton. Kaylee Nicole Howell. Julia K. Marie Hudson. Mason Riley Hutto. Sydney Wyatt Jackson. Daniel Trajan Jones. Sebastian Ocean Key. Haley Marie Langston. Tanner Ryan Lawson. Sarah Alexis Limehouse. Lashana Alyssa Lennon. Karen Lopez Perez. Anthony Joseph Madonio. Jameson Christine McGarity. Lauren Margaret McNamara. Macaire Judith McNamara. Charles Daniel Merritt. Jenna Michelle Mixon. Benjamin Riley Mizell. Lizeth Berenice Molina. Gregory Joseph Moore. Damian Morales. David Ecarete Indio. Sarah Michaela Norman. Susanna Elizabeth Parker. Rachel Paige Parrish. Chloe Tiana Peterson. Natalie Colleen Payton. Susanna De Jesus Poleo Castillo. Elena Rose Poli. Avery Lauren Rye. Gracie Rose Reisner. Davison Pierce Rizzo. Sarah Valentina Rodriguez Calderon. Ryan Savannah Rogers. Savannah Lynn Rywelski. Marco Antonio Salome II. Taryn Elizabeth Shuto. Sophia Noreen Singh. Reagan Olivia Snavely. Carson Lee Spinks. Reina Celeste Suazo Hernandez. Elijah Matthew Taylor. Chance Allen Terrell. Sarah Catherine Thomas. Blake Matthew Thompson. Tristan Thomas Tillman. Joshua Martin Traylor. Miranda Kenzie Vogt. Jacob Alexander Waddell. Evan James Ward. Sarah Rose Ward Perez. Tony Michaela Warnick. Maya Elizabeth Weber. Logan Ray Wenzel. Kiara Monet Deanna Winters. And Nathaniel Miller Zig. Please give a round of applause to our honor graduates. And now presenting the rest of the class of 2022, Alexandra Noel Abbott. Danielle Cassandra Abbott. Gabriella Elizabeth Adams. Ariane Anise Addison. Tania Monet Aiken. Camilo Andres Albornoz Leon. Noland Jameson Alex. Deontay Blake Alkire. Rachel Emma Almes. David Shaquan Anderson. Caleb James Anderson. Kenya Anaya Anderson. Michaelin Corinne Anderson. Nyasia Anderson. Stefan Mandrell Anderson. Raymond James Andrzak. Isabel Christiana Andujar. Marilyn Karina Arsmina. William Seth Ard. James Cole Arnett. Sergio Arroyo Mora. Greer Kendall Ash. Alex Ramon Avila. Lizbeth Adriana Avila. Caden Gage Backlet. Emma Grace Baggett. William Stacy Bagley. Cadence Michelle Bailey. Jada Tamari Bailey. Samuel Christopher Bailey. Christian Baker. Madeline Jo Baldwin Eller. Christian Grant Ball. Diogene Artavius Nicole Bannister. Matthew Brylan Barkley. Skylar Nalia Barra. Aaliyah Nicole Barrett. Diane Aaron Bauer. Owen Tate Beck. Tari Jatwan Bell. Kaimani Simone Belton. Carlos Ladrell Bennett. Sheena Sarah Bennett. Bailey Ann Benning. Lauren Noel Binal. Tavis Doriana Burden. Jacob Allen Black. Corey Verquez Bowman. Kimberly Nicole Bowman. Zalia Samara Brazelton. Anthony Robert Brindisi. Jeremiah Anthony Britton. Dejanay Lachelle Broomfield. Desharnay Brianna Broomfield. Camry Mahogany Brown. Jaden Ramon Brown. Jaden Allen Brown. Tyja Quantanisha Brown. Destiny Nicole Brush. Marissa Takoa Bell Buckley. Trinity Michaela Buddy. Anthony Allen Bunch III. Caden Christopher Bunch. Riley Nicole Bunch. Jocelyn Nicole Bernheimer. Travis Walker Burns. Adrian D'Angelo Campbell Weathers. Janera Nisha Carter Tucker. Ramonte Casimir Chandler. Kaylee Ray Chergosky. Brendan Derek Christian. Joseph Tyler Clark. Riley Caroline Clark. Samaria Leanna Clark. Wesley Cooper Clark. William Lee Clayton. Allison Nicole Clemens. Rocky Eugene Cluis II. Andrew Michael Coates Jr. Marquez Deshaun Cobbs. Trevon Malik Coburn. Zoe Madeline Coburn. Christian Toch Collins. Kyle Harrison Combs. Alexander Wyatt Connard. Ashton Benjamin Connor. Brandon Robert Helmut Conway. Lenora Grace Coriel. Brianna Missouri Costin. Zachary Christopher Counts. Christopher Nelson Cox. Jaden Alexander Creel. Jenna Catherine Crocker. Adam McCaskill Crowder. Darren Elijah Crumpler. Mason Lee Cruz. Noe Salvador Cruz Aradillas. Marcus Paul Culberson. Kylie Isabel Cumsty Cummings. Giovanni Lamar Curry. Yancey Quince Days. Jacob Paul Dalton. Shane Patrick Daly. Jenny Elizabeth Daniels. Alexis Danielle Davis. Bryce Alexander William Davis. Jaden Tramiel Davis. Luke Davis. Emma Grace DeGraff, Charles Timothy Dempsey, Ashlyn Maria DeVoe, Jalen Marie Diaz, Raymond William Diaz, Rosa Darlene Dillings, Eric Shane Devona, Imani Capri Douglas, Omari Mark Anthony Douglas, Thomas Lawrence Droz, Ivy Kathleen Lucia Dubose, Madison Alyn Dukes, Jasmine Jayla Dunlap, Justin Seth Duran, Orion Devon Eves, Alexandra Maria Mayanen Ebeling, Philip Scott Egnor, Wesley Lloyd Isel, Tajay Madison Ellis, Preston Elrod, Caleb Thomas Erskine, Mariah Espino Garcia, Caden Scott Fadley, Julia Lynn Ferris, Catherine Gwen Faulkner, Anna Marie Feeders, Armand Michael Felder, Asia Zane Felder, Jonathan Michael Felix Jr., Caitlin Melissa Fleming, Hannah Leona Forbes, Makai Jalen Isaiah Ford, Derek David Franco Jr., Christina Joy Frank, Rannon Marshall Fredrickson, Tyler Stewart Free, Tyasia Janaya Fripp, Jaden Hayden Scott Fulcher, Princess Jana Galera, Sierra Elena Garcia, Ramona Kishana Teshayla Ernesta Garvin, Colton Christopher Golden, Mason Miles Gauze, Paris Leon Geddes, Tyra Vera Gelzer, Zachary Stephen Gentry, Carvon Jamel Gibbs Edwards, Levi Montgomery Gibson, Paris Elizabeth Gilbert, Aubrey Yvonne Gill, Soraya Amari Gilliam, Vanessa Grace Giocondi, Andrew Philip Gobin, Kaylee Ann Godfrey, Jasmine Angelina Lachey Gomez, Javier Simon Gonzalez, Mac Ray Anthony Goodman, Logan Marie Goodwin, Brenna Danielle Gould, Quamari Ajan Maurice Govan, Antonio Vicente Grajeda, Antoine Lamar Grant Jr., Brianna Denise Grant, Christian Hassan Grant, Christian Maurice Santel Grant, Kareem Javel Grant, Jordan Anita Grant Doctor, Roman David John Gray, Jonathan Lamont Green, Dylan Drew Green, Juliana Lauren Griffin, Nathaniel Joseph Gross, Thomas Anthony Gross, Janae Kiara Cyan Guy, Jackson West Hackett, Aiden Alexander Hike, Lauren Charles Hale, Christian Arvon Hall, Seth Michael Hallams, Ashlyn Victoria Hanna, Logan Ross Hansen, Erin Elizabeth Hansen, Bryce Zachary Harner, Cameron Allen Graham Harrison, Chelsea Leanne Hart, Angel Renee Hash, Emily Ann Margaret Held, Connor Douglas Hearn, Jonah Lee Hendren, Raul Hernandez Sanchez, Micah Michelle Hewitt, Keaton Robert Hayward, Jalen Tremaine Hightower, Dwayne Marion Hill Jr., Tony Ellen Hill, Alicia Maria Hines, Brielle Kristen Holden, Ozias Timon Zymir Holmes, Jacob Wayne Holycross, Carolasia Miranda Hopkins, Jade Alexia Horton, Caleb Alexander Horvath, Ryan Fisher Howard, Selena Monique Howell, Alita Nicole Hubbard, Dylan Anthony Hutchison, Chandler Martin Ilderton, Julia Regan Eisen, Zora Mae Jackson, Nayeli Sarabia Jaimez, Hayden Eric James, Kalia Monet Jameson, Irving Hauregi, Blake Michael Jeffcoat, Kamaya Veronica Jenkins, Tyrese Malik Jenkins, James Jimenez Martinez, Rebecca Danielle Johns, Brandon Lee Johnson, Ashley Michaela Linnell Johnson, Carson McKinley Hall Johnson, Tyreek Barshawn Johnson, Lauren Elizabeth Jonas, Carnell Craig Jones, Janaya Kayaja Jones, Princess Rizaya Lanasia Jones Thorne, Ashley Juarez Martinez, Paige Marie Calbra, Christopher Ethan Keister Poston, Grayson Reese Kenna, Kara Joy Kenyon, Dylan Michael Ketch, Kayla Sophia Ketchum, Ariana Zenobia Tylexia Kimbrough, Caleb Xavier Kinnard, Kobe Harold Kynard, Grace Kaylin Kincaid, Wesley Brant King, Colin Dean Cruzmark, Tyler Stephen Kutchman, Thomas Paul Lamb, Caleb Alexander Laurent, Carson Michelle Lemming, Jackson Randall Lewis, Joshua Warren Gage Lewis, Natasha Lovon Lewis, Wesley Alexander Lewis, Lorelei Lisa Libby, Ella Louise Limehouse, Nora Elizabeth Limehouse, Madison Marie Links, Joshua Emmanuel Lincoln, Tierra Marie Link, Cecilia Catherine Yume Liu, John David Livingston III, Andrew Thomas Lloyd, Dempsey Braden Logue, Sierra Madison Long, Victoria Ashlyn Lucarelli, Diego Armando Luna, Benjamin Burton Luxmore, Tiana Lachey Lyles, Michael Charles Macchio, Marston Jerome Mack Jr., Destiny Aaliyah Magwood, Grace Leanne Mahan, Victoria Nicole Mahon, Megan Elizabeth Marasco, Destiny Cheyenne Monet Martin, Jade Vincent Martin, Misael Tomas Martinez Jr., Nevea Ajane Martinez, Aracel Martinez Bautista, Faith Ann Mizell, Shelby Ann Mizell, Treshima Skyne McCall, Olivia Llewellyn McClary, Luke Alexander McCoy, Dakari Tariq McCutcheon, Christopher Kell McDonald, Noah Blake McGahee, Noah Brady McCanna, Darius J. McKinley Hill, Joshua Kriston McKinley Hill, Kenley Isabel McKnight, Erin Elizabeth McMahon, Gavin Lloyd McNeish, Griffin Ennis McNeish, Ryan Patrick McSparron, Kyle Andrew McVicker, Stephen Reed Melton Galvan, Caleb Nicholas Mercer, Deshaun Kentrell Middleton, Roxana Noel Melanian, Maddie Elizabeth Miller, Sanaa Sharnique Mills, Xavier Lamont Mitchell Brown, Andrew Colin Mitchum, Quantrell Carlise Montgomery, Brant Thomas Moore, Brianna Milena Moore, Tatiana Nibor Angeli Moreno, Caroline Paulette Morris, Lilia Autumn Morris, Parker James Morris, Gracie Jeanette Mosley, Leonora Rose Mount, Peyton Alexandria McIlvaney, Haru Kevin Mungeon, Logan Richard Murphy, Abigail Alyssa Murray, Justin Anthony Murray, Nida Tamara Murray, Brianna Ashton Myers, Gibson Ellis Myers, Lillian Francis Nance, Jaquan Lamont Neal, Dominique Amir Nesbitt, Kylie Amber Nichols. Shelby Ray Nielsen. Elizabeth Caitlin Nolan. Tamara Nicole Nolan. Justin George O'Brien. Trey Scott O'Brien. Kimberly Lynn Olson. Jesse Raymond Orth. Shyla Monet Outland. Mackenzie Noel Overton. Isaiah Jermaine Palmer. Caitlin Elaine Palmer. Heather Renee Paredes. Ashlyn Michelle Parker. Matthew Christopher Parker. Mike Hodge Patterson II. Ashton Sean Pauley. Lindsay Nicole Pauling. Shayla Anise Pearson. Trinity Angelina Leanne Pearson. Joseph William Peavy. Aiden Wayne Peoples. Gianna Marie Pellegrino. Magalil Pena Morales. Serena Marie Perez. Misada Soledad Perez Contreras. McKevlin Zachary Reese Perry. Taylor Jade Perry. Emily Brianna Peters. Cole Gerard Pettis. Osvaldo Noe Pettit. Trevor Jack Pierce. Michaela Gabriel Pinkard. Clara Grace Plymel. Kayla Cherise Poinsett. Taranique Ayana Polite. Ruby Nicole Pollard. Makai Marshawn Pameli. Shekinah Naomi Olivia Pope. Jack Franklin Powell. Kaylee Marie Pratt. Ryan Andrew Price. Joshua Allen Preem. Corbin Markley Prince. Ian Sheldon Prelo Jr. Miranda Sidney Pyatt. Micah Constantine Quarles. Soraya Imani Ramirez. Anika Jade Randolph. Jameson Bennett Rainey. Diego Saul Reyes Avila. Ethan Hunter Rhodes. Elijah Valdez Richardson. Pharrell Mandel Richardson. Raiden James Richart. Ethan Alexander Ritchie. Destiny Desiree Rivers. Gabriel Alexander Roberts. Jaden Jane Roberts. Cooper William Robinson. Emily Nicole Robinson. Tiana Renee Robinson. Madeline Elisa Rodriguez Morales. Alexia Yahira Rogers. Faith Elizabeth Rooker. Anna Giselle Salazar Partida. Jackson Ryan Salinas. Maya Elizabeth Salinas. Anaya Zane Salters. Grant Evan Samsel. Brian Sanchez. Celeste Santiago Hernandez. Nazbid Santiago Reyes. Leela Pearl Saunders. Michael Fain Schmidt. Riley Mae Schwest. Angelina Michelle Schultz. Daniel Alexander William Scipio II. Benjamin Charles Seacrest. Noah Logan Setzer. Carter Neville Shady. Cade Walton Shea. Carson Andrew Shed. Kivante Destiny Simmons. Krishaya Renee Dashri Simmons. Micaiah Christian Simmons. Robert Latroy Simmons. Shane Brody Simmons. Yanae Alasia Simmons. Richard Allen Simpson III. Najee Monet Smalls. LaRaisha Zaire Smiley. Aiden Bradley Smith. Faith Nicole Smith. Gabriel Michael Smith. Jackson Elias Smith. Peyton Austin Smith. Rasha Kareem Smith Jr. Yanaya Tanasia Smith. Harley Ann Smoke Wilson. David James St. Philippe. Ron Eric Staggers Jr. Jason Porter Steele. Javari Toriano Stevens Jr. Courtney Alexandria Stepney. Avery Wade Stone. Isaac Tyler Stone. Jacob Christian Stoner. Weston Reed Sullivan. Jacob Alexander Sumner. Ethan Michael Sutton. Abriella Lynn Swan. Alyssa Renee Taylor. Dakota Christine Taylor. Ryder Grayson Taylor. Nico Teagarden. Cheyenne Paige Tennant. Mackenzie Faye Thomas. Amaria Tamar Thompson. Justice Omari Thompson. Kawan Kamari Thompson. Kyle Tristan Thornton. Oliver Jacob Tim. Ethan Topping. Emily Paige Trenary. Susanna Lee Tepper. Nayla Michelle Turner. Angel Lynn Vasco. Kalena Verrett. Ryan Von Wilkie. Brandon Wayne Waddle. Alexis Janelle Walker. All right, Lexi. Maurice Tyrell Washington. Ethan Hunter Watts. Myra Trillia Webb. Orion Kanye Weeks. Kiosha Janice Weldon. Maximus Macon Wellington. James Robert Wendell III. Luther John Wesley. Michaela Elizabeth Whetstone. Anthony Kamari White. Destiny Marie White. Dania Monet Lynette White. Edward Marvin White III. Quantaria Desnique White. Amaya Shannon Williams. Colby Arette Williams. DeAndre Amari Renard Williams. Gavin Quinn Williams. Kimori Jerlana Williams. Malia Nicole Williams. Trayvon Demetrius Williams. Tyrell Hakeem Williams. James Walter Wilson Jr. Trishawn Raquel Wilson. Morgan Taylor Winningham. James Michael Wood Jr. Trinity Faith Woodbury. Peyton Allen Woods Atchison. And Javon Isaiah Wright.
Mr. Pye? All right, almost there. The flower you were presented with as you left the stage serves a universal symbol of communication. It has its own unique way of speaking without saying a word, and able to convey emotions that are sometimes have difficulty expressing. Your flower has two purposes. First, we spend so much time doing the work of school that we simply forget to say, thank you, graduates, for all the successes and good times you have provided to us as individuals. Second, use this flower to help express your gratitude and your emotions to your loved ones as you see them for the very first time as a graduate. Now, it's my duty as principal of Summerville High School, on behalf of the faculty and staff, to certify to Mr. Pye, Superintendent of Schools, and to the Board of Trustees that these seniors have fulfilled all state and local requirements to earn their high school diploma. Mr. Pye, it is my recommendation that all members of the class of 2022 be accepted as duly qualified. Mr. Pye?
As superintendent and on behalf of the Dorchester School District 2 Board of Trustees and the state of South Carolina, I therefore certify that all the candidates for South Carolina's high school diploma have met all graduation requirements. I proudly accept the Summerville High School class of 2022 as graduates. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. First, on behalf of Class of 2022, I would like to thank our administrators for going above and beyond to give us the most unforgettable high school experience, despite the adversity of the last 4 years. Thank you to our teachers and staff who inspired us to grow, not only as students, but as people. And finally, to our friends and families who stuck by our sides, encouraging us every step of the way. We owe so much to y'all. I don't know about y'all, but when I walked through the doors of Summerville High School 4 years ago, my biggest concern was figuring out my schedule on time and praying I had at least 1 or 2 familiar faces in my first period. I expected my high school experience to be ordinary. 4 long years filled of friendships, pep rallies, club events, and of course, sports games. However, that wasn't quite the case. While it is easy to focus on what we have missed out on in the 2 years when we juggled virtual school and hybrid classes, I instead want to highlight everything we have gained through our not quite so ordinary high school experience. We have had the opportunity to challenge ourselves to be adaptable in ways other classes before us didn't. We have had the opportunity to overcome isolation, fear, and uncertainty, and use these negative experiences as fuel to create bonds with our loved ones. We have had the opportunity to see firsthand that there is a light at the end of the tunnel and that things do get better. Our experiences these last 4 years have taught us to be flexible, care for each other and our communities, and to keep going even when the goings get tough. Fellow graduates, no matter what you do after you leave here today, whether you are furthering your education, entering the military, traveling, or going into the workforce, or seeing where life takes you. Remember the opportunities we have had to grow together these last 4 years. We entered high school as teenagers unsure of who we would become and what high school would bring us. We are now leaving as educated, caring, resilient problem solvers. I look forward to see what the future holds for us all. With great honor, I now ask the graduating class of 2022 to please rise. Graduates, you may now move your tassel from right to left. Please remain standing and join in the singing of the Summerville High School alma mater. Congrats, everyone.